So let me erase my past file, new one. Okay, share my screen. Okay, so we are trying to find the least common multiple and the greatest common factor of the numbers 160 and 208 by using the ladder method. So 160 is our first number, and then 208 is our second number. So the ladder method, we're just doing multiples to, or the lowest multiple to figure out. So the 2 is divided into 160 and 208, and it is the smallest one. Um, so you're going to take 2 divided by 160, and that's going to give you 80. 2 divided by 208 is 104. So now we can simplify some more. So doing this, we're going to come up with another 2. That's our least common, or I won't say our least common, our smallest factor that we can put in here. So 2 divided by 80 is going to be 40. 2 divided by 104 is going to be 52. We keep going down until we cannot simplify anymore. So 2, or how do you want to call it? Get to the prime numbers. So 2, we're on the third rung. So 2 and 2 and 2. So 2 can go into 40, or 2 divided by 40 is 20. Sorry, excuse me. It's late. My brain's not working very well. So hopefully I can say this out right. The next one is going to be 2 divided by 52, or 52 divided by 2 is going to be 26. That can still go farther. So we put another 2 down here. 2, 20 divided by 2 is 10. 26 divided by 2 is 13. Okay, so looking at these two numbers, 13 we cannot we cannot go any lower than 13. 10 we can still, it still has factors. So we'll go 2, it's the lowest common factor, or the lowest factor. 2 and 10, so 10 divided by 2 is going to be 5. And we're just going to bring this 13 straight down. So this 13 comes straight down. So 5 and 13 are the lowest prime numbers for these numbers. So when you're trying to find the greatest common factor and least common multiple, you have to find the greatest common factor first to be able to solve for least common multiple. So these factors that you came up with to get down here are going to be how you solve your greatest common factor. You're going to take each of these and you're going to multiply them. So every rung we went down that ladder, you're going to multiply these numbers by. So there's 5 of them. So it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So when you multiply 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, you get 32. That is your greatest common factor of 160 and 208. So now you're going to take this greatest common factor and we're going to plug it into our equation for least common multiple. So the least common multiple, to find that, you're going to have the products, or the product of the original numbers, which are our original numbers here. I'll circle them in red, are 160 and 208. So you're going to put 160, and we said the word product. So that's going to be multiplying 160 and 208. And then that is going to be divided by our greatest common factor. And our greatest common factor we found out was 32. So we're going to put that over 32. So doing this in easier math, 160 times 208, you're going to probably need to break out a calculator for that because that's going to be a big number. It's going to be 33,280. You're going to divide that number by our greatest common factor, which is 32, which then leads us to our least common multiple of 1,040. So factors, multiply all those together to get your greatest common factor. And then for your least common multiple, you're going to take your two starting original numbers, multiply those together, and then divide those two numbers by your greatest common factor. And that is how you're going to come up with your lowest or least common multiple.